Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to convert Unix time seconds to date and timestamp format. So suppose we have time in Unix time seconds, then how to convert into timestamp format in date and time format. So for this, we'll use normally from underscore Unix time. So this is the function is available in PySpark to convert Unix time, or you can say timestamp in the form of seconds and convert into date and time format. So normally it is used from underscore Unix time is used to convert the number of seconds from Unix apache. So this is the standard time to a string representation of the timestamp. Suppose there is an example. So this we can call as Unix time in seconds. So this is the timestamp value in the form of seconds. And these seconds, by using from underscore Unix time function, we are converting to timestamp format, that is date and time format. So mainly this is used to convert into human readable format. So these numbers, we cannot understand what is the time, date and time in this format. So we are converting to human readable format. And from underscore Unix time always accepts timestamp value in the form of seconds. If it is in milliseconds or some other format, it won't accept. But how will you find out whether it is in seconds or milliseconds? So if you count this number of digits in this particular value, if it is a 10-digit number, then we can consider as this is in seconds. Okay, so then if it is a 10-digit number, you can directly pass into this from underscore Unix time, then it will convert to this timestamp value in the form of string data type. So from underscore Unix time, so as I told, this timestamp accepts only seconds, not milliseconds. Suppose if your value, if this particular value, it is in milliseconds. So that means milliseconds means how to identify. So if this particular number has 13-digit number, then you can consider as it is in milliseconds. So in that case, you cannot directly pass 13-digit number to this function from underscore Unix time. So it will throw you error. So then what is the solution? So if your timestamps are in milliseconds, divide by 1000. So then if you divide by 1000, then it will become 10-digit number. Okay, so 10-digit number, then you convert it to long type. So by default, this one, it will consider as integer number. So you convert it to long data type. So now you have 10-digit number, and if you pass within this function, it will correctly convert to timestamp value. So if your timestamp is in milliseconds, there is one more function also available, timestamp underscore millis. By using that function, you can directly pass this milliseconds value. So I already made one separate video on how to use timestamp underscore millis. You can watch in my PySpark playlist. So this video is mainly concentrating on how to use from underscore Unix time. So next we'll see syntax. So syntax is from underscore Unix time, and inside that you need to pass this timestamp value. That means this particular value, Unix time value, you need to pass it, and format you have to mention it. So timestamp column. So whether you can pass it value here or you can define the column name here. So default format, it accepts if so YY, DD, and hour, minute, second. So suppose from underscore Unix time, and inside that you are mentioning column name. So what is the column you want to convert? So this is default syntax. So that means if you give like this from underscore Unix time and directly either value or column, so what it will give you result is it will give you timestamp value in this default format, that is YY 4Ys DD and space HH minute seconds. So by default it will give in this format. Suppose if you want any in custom format, then you need to define your format here. So that is our syntax here, this format. So suppose the default it is giving in this format. Suppose I want in this particular format. So DD 4Ys HH hour, minute, second. Then you have to define in this format. So suppose you want in other format. Suppose you want to extract only date. Then you mention in this format month, date, and year. So if you pass this syntax, that means from underscore Unix time, and if you pass this column, so what it gives output is string. What string it will give? Timestamp in the form of string data type it will give you with this default format. So you have to keep in mind. So it will give you written as a string timestamp value in the default format of this format. If you want any custom format, you have to define your format here. So two things need to keep in mind while using this function. So one is you have to make sure that this particular timestamp value, it should be in seconds. So that means it should be in 10-digit number. And if it will give you in this default format. So if you need any custom format, you need to define like this. And it will give you output as timestamp in the form of a string and with this default format. So next we'll see important thing is what are the data types it will support. So suppose this number is there, no? So this value we are passing inside this function. So inside this function we are passing. So this number should have either of these formats. It will support only these formats: long, big int, integer, double. So if you give any other format, it won't support, it will throw you error. So these are the basic things before using this function I have to keep in mind. So next what I'm doing, I'm importing the required functions. So mainly current underscore timestamp, to underscore timestamp, and main thing from underscore Unix time. So first we'll see what is the basic usage of from underscore Unix time. So what it does is here we'll see how it will convert Unix timestamp to default this timestamp format. So here I have one example. I created one data frame. So I created data frame with a single column, that is Unix underscore time. If you see here, this is my initial data frame. I have these 5 records. If you see, all digits are 10 digits. So this is in timestamp in seconds. So on top of this, what I'm doing, on top of this data frame, I'm creating new column by using with column. And here I'm using this function from underscore Unix time. And inside that, I'm passing this column. See here, I'm not giving anything here like format, nothing is defining, only passing column name inside this function. So if you pass like this, what it will do is it will convert this number into this timestamp format in this standard format. If you see here, Y, year, month, date, hour, minute, second, and in between nothing is there. And if you see, if you compare the data types, what is our initial data type is long. While creating the data frame, that is our long data type. And if you see here, our initial column, this is long data type, and our output, this is a timestamp in the form of string. As I said in the syntax, it will give you, it returns string of timestamp within this default format. So same thing we are getting here, string data type in timestamp with default format. So next we'll see how to get custom format. So for first custom format, as I told initially, so we need to define our own format here. So same syntax with column. Here I'm using from underscore Unix time, and I have this column. So I have only one column. So this column I'm passing here, and I need in this format here backslash month backslash dd, and I need only hour minute. So here I need additionally seconds, and here instead of backslash I need like this, and here I need only date. So year month date, and if you observe the result, so this particular column, it is converted. If you see first one, that is our first this one, year backslash month date and space, it giving only hour and minute. And if you see here, so here we added seconds. So here it added seconds also. So hour, minute, second. And if you see this third one, so we are getting in this format. Instead of backslash, we are getting dash. And here I defined only date, year, month, date. So here I'm getting year, month, date. So like this, we can define for getting custom format. So next, how to convert string time format, including milliseconds, to Unix timestamp. So in either double you can say or long you can say data type. So Unix underscore timestamp function excludes milliseconds. So as we discussed initially, this is in timestamp in seconds. Suppose if you have value in milliseconds. So again here you have to remember two things. So how we are passing value to this function. So as of now, we discussed about how to pass this number. So this number can be either in seconds or milliseconds. So if a number is in seconds, you can directly pass to Unix underscore timestamp. If it is in milliseconds, you have to divide it by 1000. That is one option. Our second option is you can use timestamp underscore millis function directly on milliseconds value. If you see this example, here we don't have value, but we have some string here. So string in the form of milliseconds. So that means if you see here hour, minute, second, and here milliseconds is there, and here time zone is there. So if you pass this single string value to this Unix underscore timestamp, what it does is it ignores this milliseconds. So it won't consider this. Then how to handle this kind of format? So for this, what I'm doing, so first I'm creating data frame. So data frame like this, and I have in this string format. So this is my date, and this is my time, and this is my time zone. So first what I'm doing is I'm using with column, and I'm using Unix underscore timestamp, and I'm applying on this time column. So time means on these values, and I'm defining the format here. So what format I'm defining? So same format I'm defining here. Here dd is there. So dd, and here we have July, JUL. So that means 3 So that means three characters are there. So since three characters are there here, JUL, so here I am passing three M's here. So similar way, here is 2018. So four characters, so I am passing four Y's here. So similar way here, hour, minute, second, milliseconds, and time zone. If you see here, first one is hour, minute, second, and milliseconds. And for time zone, I'm mentioning jet, small jet. So if you see up to here, what it generates is, so this is our input column. And on top of this, I'm generating this date underscore time column. So what it doing is Unix underscore timestamp. What it doing is this one, it converting to this number. Okay, Unix number, Unix time number, it generating. And if you see here, it generated 10-digit number. Okay, but it not considered this milliseconds. So suppose you want to consider this milliseconds also, then I'm creating separate column, and up to here, this is same. Okay, so that means initially I'm generating this number. That means excluding milliseconds I'm generating. And I'm adding this value to here I'm using substring and df custom. So that means from our data frame, I'm selecting time column, this column, and I'm giving -7 3. So subtract -7 3 means from last, what is -7? So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So that means is exactly first position of milliseconds, that is 7. So from here, three digits, three characters I want to extract. So that's why it is given 3. So that means finally it will pick 792. This milliseconds it will pick. And it is dividing by 1000. Why? Because this is milliseconds, no? So I am dividing by 1000. So it will become seconds. And that means 792 by 1000. So that means 0.792. So what is up to here value we are getting? Up to here value we are getting this one. So for this, I am adding 0.792, this value. So I'm adding this value 0.792. So here we are getting 278.792. So similar way for other records also. So this is with seconds. Sorry, this is in the form of seconds, but excluding this milliseconds time. So this one, it is including milliseconds also. Okay, so next we'll see set time zone. So in this, what I'm doing is I'm creating one data frame here. So initially I created one data frame by taking two records, that is Unix underscore time, and I have two records here. So this is time value in the form of seconds. So on top of this, what I'm doing here, I'm using from underscore Unix time, and I'm applying on this column Unix time, and I'm displaying. Okay, so what it does is it will convert to timestamp format, because from underscore Unix time, I'm simply giving column name. So I'm not giving any format. So it will convert into default timestamp format in with string data type. Okay, so if you see here, it is string data type. So now what I'm doing here is this particular uh, Databricks, it considered as per system default some time zone it's selected. So that is our time zone it's selected. So as per this, it giving this timestamp. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change time zone to America, Los Angeles. So for that, what I'm doing, spark.config.set. So I'm setting by using spark.sql.session.time zone. So in this time zone, I am changing to America or Los Angeles. Okay, so now this default time zone to this particular time zone I changed. So after changing, so same code I am rerunning here. See here, if you see the time, if you see the values, you will see the difference. I will take screenshot of this, and if you compare with this one, if you compare with these values, so here how much is a 48, so this date will be same, and here all zeros are there, but if you see here 07, so hour is 07, so that means default time zone to this America Los Angeles time zone 7 hours difference is there. And if you see this one 2018 6 9, so but you got here 10, date 10, and it is 194140, and see here difference. Okay, so day 1 day difference is there. So if you minus this one, you will come to know exact hours difference. Okay, so next I want to unset this particular time zone. Now I set at this one, no, America Los Angeles. I want to unset this one. Then how to do this? So spark.conf unset spark.sql session.time zone. So if I run this, it will unset this particular time zone. Next, what I'm doing, I'm selecting one more time zone. So here I'm changing to America or New York time zone. So if I run same code, and if you compare this result, and if you see here 2004-18, here 3 is there. So earlier for America Los Angeles 7 it came, now we got 3. And similar way 2018 6 9, so here previous 10 is there, here 22 41, see here. So based on location, look, time zone to time zone, there will be some hours difference. So that difference you will get here. So same thing, you can unset this by using spark.config.unset, and you can unset. If you do this, it will come to your default time zone. Next, basic usage and custom format. So here, what I'm doing is, so here I have one data set. So I already uploaded in catalog under volumes, and after that I copied that path I'm reading here. So in this one, how to load data to catalog and how to read this, I will make separate video on this. For time being, so I'm reading this data frame from my catalog, and this is the data frame. Later, if you see in this, I have two columns with this timestamp values. See here, input underscore timestamp underscore UTC, update underscore timestamp underscore UTC. So these are in timestamp in seconds. And if you see the data type, by default, it reading as integer. Okay, so and if you see the digits, it has 10-digit number. So that means this is in timestamp value in seconds. So since these two are integers, so I'm changing to long data type. So these two columns, by using cast, I'm changing to long data type. And if you see here, this data type, it got changed to long data type. So now on top of this, what I'm doing is, here I'm using from underscore Unix time. So here I am extracting two things. One is default format and custom format. So what is the default format? From underscore Unix time, directly passing column name without defining anything, format or anything. So if you mention like this, you will get a default format like this. And if you see here, so df.select, and I want to get these two columns also to show the difference here. So these two columns, and on top of this, from underscore Unix time, and I'm pausing this first column. So this first column I'm pausing here. So then I give an alias name for this. And I want to generate one more column, that is this one, second column, that is this one. So this also I'm pausing under from underscore Unix time. So since I'm not mentioning any format in this, so I simply mentioned column name. I will get default timestamp format like this. If you see here, so even column names I defined like this, default string. Default string. Why? Because so I want to get in default format. So output will get this timestamp in the format of string. So that's why I mentioned string. If you see here, so this one, this particular record is converted into timestamp format with this default format. So year, month, date, hour, minute, second. Okay, so similar way, this record got converted to like this default format. Next, I'm trying for custom format. So for custom format, what I'm doing from underscore Unix time, I want to get it from input timestamp column, that is first column. So here I'm defining my format. So I'm defining format like this. And similar way, I'm applying this function on second column and I want in this format. So we'll see as of now these two columns. So with custom function. So if you see the difference, see one is this one. See even column name I mentioned custom, custom, custom. So if you see this record, how it generated as per our format. See first I given month date, see here, month, date, year, hour, minute, second. So same format we are getting. And second column, if you see month, date, year. If you see here, month, date, year. In this format you are getting. And the next last two columns is from underscore Unix time, I am applying on first column. So now what I'm doing, I am converting to timestamp format. Okay, so even second column also I'm casting to timestamp format. If you see the difference, see very initially I'm not defined any format or I'm not casted anything. So by default, what it giving? By default, it giving timestamp in the format of string. But here I'm not defining format. I'm not defining format like this. I want it in default format, but instead of string data type, I want in timestamp data type. So if I do cache like this timestamp, if you see here the difference, these last two columns, see here I mentioned default TS timestamp. And if you see the difference between here and here, see here we have date first, and in between we don't have T, Z, nothing is there. But if you see here, after converting to timestamp, see we are getting in timestamp format. So that means first is date, year, month, date, and T is there. And you can see hour, minute, second, and milliseconds, and time zone. So this is the standard timestamp format. So similarly, this also same way. So you can see the difference. So first one I uh, gone for a default format. So next one is custom format. So next one is output in the format timestamp format instead of string timestamp format. So next I'm using to underscore timestamp. So what it does to underscore timestamp? So it convert string to timestamp type. So if you use to underscore timestamp, you will get in this standard timestamp format. So year, month, date, hour, minute, second, and milliseconds. If you see Unix underscore timestamp, if you use, it will give you hour, minute, second. But if you use to underscore timestamp, it will give you additionally milliseconds also. So what is the syntax? To underscore timestamp, column name you have to pass and pattern you need to provide. So here what I'm doing. So first I'm entering current underscore timestamp, that is created timestamp. So this is my current time, current timestamp it is printing. And here I'm using expression and current underscore user. So that means it will give you my name. And third one, what I'm doing. So I am using as it is default format from underscore Unix time, and inside that I am passed column name. So this we already discussed. So it will give you in this format, default format. And see up to here from underscore Unix time and column. So this will give you result this one. So on top of this, I am applying to underscore timestamp. If I do like this, I will get in this format. See date, T, hour, minute, second, millisecond, and time zone. Okay, so current underscore is uh, since it is not directly available in PySpark function, so that's why I used expression. So expression means it will pick from SQL. So next, so if you see main difference, see by using to underscore timestamp, we are getting same result. And if you see in our previous result, see here also you are getting same result. Here what you did, here converted by using cast to timestamp. So either way you can use it. Either you can use cast.timestamp or you can use at the starting to underscore timestamp. So both will give you the same output. So these are all the different methods to create timestamp from Unix time. So that's all about this video on how to use from underscore Unix time. So if you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.